What if I told you that the Singapore you've seen in movies, travel vlogs, and Instagram reels isn't real? They told me Singapore is perfect, clean, rich, safe, a futuristic paradise where dreams come true, a city with no flaws, no shadows, no cracks. I believed them. But the moment I arrived, something felt off. Beneath the neon lights, the glass towers, and the postcard skyline, I sensed a different story, one no travel brochure dares to print. Welcome to Geo Chronicles, where we go beyond the surface and reveal the hidden realities of the world's most famous places. This is not an attack on Singapore. This is a confession. Because the biggest lie isn't that Singapore is beautiful. The biggest lie is that it's perfect. Tonight, I'm telling you the truths I discovered, the ones people whisper about but never say out loud, the moments that shattered the illusion, the side of Singapore no one prepares you for. And once you see it, you'll never see this city the same way again. Point 1. The illusion of perfection. Singapore feels unreal. The streets shine. The buildings look untouched by time. Even the air feels controlled. It's as if the city was designed, not grown. But perfection has a cost. Every corner is watched. Every rule is enforced. Cameras don't blink. Laws don't bend. You don't just live in Singapore, you perform inside it. They sell this as safety, but safety slowly becomes silence. You learn to measure your words, your behavior, even your thoughts. The city doesn't ask who you are, it asks how well you fit. Behind the flawless image is a system built on order above emotion, efficiency above expression, stability above freedom. For many, it works. For others, it feels like living inside a beautiful cage. You don't see chaos here, but you also don't see rebellion. It's a place where mistakes are expensive, and being different feels dangerous. The world applauds this model, but no one asks what it feels like to breathe inside perfection every single day. Because a city with no cracks leaves no room to fall. Point 2. The invisible divide. From far away, Singapore looks equal. Everyone seems prosperous. Everyone seems fine. Up close, you notice the silence of those who built it. Migrant workers wake before dawn. They build the towers, clean the streets, fix the roads, and then disappear. You don't see them in luxury malls. You don't see them in glossy ads. They exist in the shadows of success. They live in dormitories far from the skyline they helped create. Their stories are rarely told. Their struggles are rarely filmed. Singapore's shine is real, but so is the distance between those who enjoy it and those who sustain it. Tourists walk through gardens by the bay. Workers return to rooms with 8 beds. The city moves fast, and not everyone can keep up. This isn't cruelty, it's design. A system where value is measured in productivity, where worth is tied to usefulness, where some lives are meant to be seen and others only to serve. They told me Singapore is a dream. They never told me whose dream it is. Point 3. Loneliness in a crowd. Millions of people, yet an eerie quiet inside. Singapore is full, but often feels empty. People move with purpose, not curiosity. Conversations are efficient. Smiles are polite. Everything is fast, clean, controlled, and deeply lonely. In cafes, people scroll in silence. On trains, eyes avoid contact. The city rewards productivity, not connection. Time is money. Emotion is inefficient. You can be surrounded by thousands and still feel invisible. There is beauty in this order, but there is also emotional distance. Friendships take time people don't have. Vulnerability feels risky. Expression feels unnecessary. Life becomes a schedule instead of a story. They told me Singapore is alive, but sometimes it feels like it's only functioning. A place where everything works except the human need to slow down and feel. Point 4. The pressure machine. Success is the religion here. From childhood, the message is clear. Be the best or be forgotten. Grades decide futures. Careers define identity. Failure isn't a lesson, it's a label. Students carry adult stress before they become adults. Workers chase stability like survival. Rest feels like weakness. The city doesn't stop, so neither do its people. Behind every polished professional is exhaustion. Behind every perfect resume is fear. Fear of falling behind, fear of becoming irrelevant. The world calls this ambition, but ambition without mercy becomes a cage. People don't ask, "Who am I?" They ask, "Am I enough?" Singapore builds winners, but it rarely teaches how to lose. Point 5. The price of control. Singapore proves something powerful. A nation can trade chaos for control and win. Crime drops, systems work, order prevails. But control always asks for payment. Speech becomes careful. Art becomes safe. Dissent becomes quiet. You don't fight the system here, you adapt to it. Many love this, others suffocate in it. Freedom is messy. Singapore chose precision, and the world applauds. But in every perfect system lies a question no one wants to ask. What part of yourself did you give up to make it work? Singapore builds winners, but it rarely teaches how to lose. So, is Singapore bad? No. It is brilliant, efficient, safer than most places on Earth. But it is not the fairy tale they sold us. It is a city of trade-offs. Beauty for pressure, order for silence, success for surrender. The lie wasn't that Singapore is great. The lie was that greatness comes without a cost. Every glowing skyline hides a shadow. Every perfect system asks for a piece of your soul. And maybe the real truth no one dares to say is this: a perfect city doesn't exist. Only cities that choose which imperfections to hide. Singapore chose control, and in doing so became one of the most fascinating and misunderstood places on Earth. If this video made you see the world differently, you're already part of the Geo Chronicles journey, because the real world isn't found in postcards, it's found in the truths we're afraid to face. Outro keyword: Singapore, Night City, Rain, Cinematic.